Hey guys, Joe here, and here to talk to you about 4 tips to stay with your underrated / underplayed characters. Now, I know a lot of people are playing people on the second half of the tier list, the lower half. I know a lot of these people can get a bit demotivated, but I hope this video can motivate you a little bit and just tell you a little bit why you should be staying with the character. With all that said, let's get this started. So my first thing I want to talk to you about is that you have to remember the other characters were in the spot that you're in right now. But we're going to have to think about this a little bit. So there are some characters that have come to spotlight, mainly Peach, Meta Knight, Donkey Kong. Luigi was really bad when the game first came out, supposedly, but now he's good. And a lot of other characters in the game, too, were just thought not to be very good, and now they're very good. But all these characters, of course, were just not thought to be way too good at the beginning. But now, of course, they're very strong. Now with Peach, nothing really changed about her. People just started to learn how to play her, and that's just what made her good. People just getting better as a character, and that's really something you can do with your character at all. Just get better with them and just learn the playstyles and stuff like that. Now the other people, Meta Knight and Donkey Kong, if you do get a buff on your character like both these guys, it can really help you, and it can just help you continue. So you could keep playing your character to just hope for that buff, but you could also play the character to do what Peach main did pretty much, and just learn everything you can do, and then just become a very good person with that character, and show that they're actually very strong, instead of just some weak person that a lot of people do think these characters can be. The next tip I really want to just talk to you about is that just because somebody else doesn't play your character, and just because your character isn't played very much, it doesn't mean that they're bad. Now, I know a lot of the times in Brawl and stuff like that, Melee, people play a lot of Fox, a lot of Meta Knight and stuff like that, and you know they're good characters. But just because you don't play one of the other characters doesn't mean they're a bad character. Somebody like Ganondorf, they're an okay character in those games. Mainly Melee, not really Brawl. And somebody just like that can be an okay character. They just don't get quite as much spotlight, but that definitely does not mean that they're bad. Your character may be mid-tier, maybe somebody like Bowser Jr., but just because your character isn't played that much by the pros, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they just aren't being played right now, and you could become the top level players yourself, and just show that to all the world, show how good your character is, and maybe some other people could join you on the hype of your character. Now my next tip is a little bit more about how to stay like immersed with a character, and that's to just not follow the crowd by picking a big shiny character like Sheik or something like that, but instead picking who you are, just picking the person you keep doing, but trying to just learn everything you can do, try to find all the techs, and more importantly trying to become very, very good with all the techs that are certainly found right now, such as Lucario's reversal Bs, all the combos off of that, and just all these different techs that people already have found out, and you can try to find out some on your own just by going into the lab. Now this will impact the meta a lot more. For example, if you find a tech with Sheik, it could impact the meta quite a bit, but most of them have already been found. But somebody like Mewtwo, somebody like Jigglypuff, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on them that just not very many people have found, and you could probably find it. And maybe even if they don't have way too much more stuff, you can become very good at the techs that you already know, and become very good at the playstyle you already know, and then you can still beat characters even if they have found a little bit more techs than you, just because you have a little bit more skill than the opponent with your character. So I would recommend to keep playing the same character because it will give you that skill that will allow you to just continue winning with your underplayed character. Now the final little tip I want to talk about is, once again, to keep you a little bit more engaged in the game, is just to try to learn every single combo your guy has. This is pretty similar to the last one. The last one was more about techniques. This one's a bit more about combos, but try to learn every single combo you have and practice them on the dummies and stuff like that, but then use them in different ways than what they were intended, and do different spacing and do different stuff like that, and just try to learn some different ways that you can use this move. Now a lot of people just use the move in the same way at the same situation every single time, and that really doesn't help advance the meta at all. You can figure out that A move beats B move sometimes, but C move could beat A move, so you could use C move instead of A move, for example. So pretty much that's all I have to say, is really you just want to learn some of the different combos you can do, and then after that try to do the combos differently than what you always do. And something else about this is that you should also try to learn all your hard to hit moves. For example, Zelda's Fair and Zelda's Back Air. If you learn to hit those, you'll probably do very well. Some characters have a lot of these weird tiny hitboxes, but if you can bother to learn those, if you can very good with that character, then I will recommend that you do that. It'll become a lot more fun to play your character once you start doing well, and it can help you sticking with your character. I would really recommend you stick with your character. I love seeing people play underrated and underplayed characters. It doesn't happen way too often, but keep going for it, keep going for your goal, and once again, in the future, you may become something big with your guy. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to press that like and subscribe button, and comment down below some tips that you personally use to stay with your underrated / underplayed character. Thank you guys for watching though, and I'll see you all next time.